Welcome back to another exciting episode. My name is Josh Kelly, and this is ISVs on Tap. Joining me today is Ethan Jordan from Arreya. Ethan, thanks for jumping on here with us.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to come talk to you guys.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, we appreciate you being on here. So let's just go ahead and dive right into this. Obviously, we're talking about ISVs, and so let's go ahead and do this intro. Ethan, you're with Arreya. So tell me a little bit about you and how you started at Arreya, and then give me a little bit of background on the software that you guys have.
Sure, yeah. So I am a 15-year Linux systems administrator veteran. So I started at GoDaddy right out of high school, honestly. Started as sales and moved into like a technical role. So that was pretty exciting. So I worked there for about 15 years, got into about the COVID era and started working from home and seeing less and less of my fellow peers and wanted something that was more local and just something for me to sort of be in like a small startup type situation. So started working at Arreya with Jill and Todd, the owners, and really started to love it in all the signage aspects. So that was like a fun change of pace for me. I went from managing about 1,500 to 15,000 servers to managing just one cloud environment. So definitely less stress overall, but it's definitely a fun challenge day to day.
Good. That's excellent. I do have a question for you because
Sure.
when you're saying GoDaddy, that sounds right at the height of the tech boom. Is that
Yep.
about early 2000s maybe?
That was 2010 is when I started. So I graduated high school in 2009 and then started 2010. So I got in pretty early.
All right, yeah. Let's just act like you didn't say you graduated from high school in 2009. That makes me feel really old. So,
Oh, I'm sorry.
all right, and less stress at Arreya. That's good. All right, so let's tell me a little bit about the Arreya content management server system that you guys have. Can you dive into that for me?
Yeah, so it's a signage application. So we're a small shop here in Iowa. We've got about 11 employees and it's all local support. So basically, what we do is we make a CMS, a content management system, which allows you to build all of your signage applications in an editor, and then you push it live to devices. So it doesn't matter what device it is. It could be a Google Chrome device, it could be an Amazon signage stick, it could be anything, a bright sign player. Basically, we build the software that you come in, edit what you want your employee communications or your digital menu board, whatever that is, and then you push it to those devices. So that's what we do.
Okay, perfect. Nice plug in there on one of the devices. We'll get into that a little bit later, though. So tell me, so there's a lot of content management systems out there. So can you just walk me through tell me what's unique about Arreya, how that's a little bit different.
Yeah, so the uniqueness about Arreya is, I think, the scheduling aspect, the local support, and just the ease of use. So I'll go through those one by one. I think the big thing with the ease of support is that everybody is here in Iowa local and we all know each other extremely well. So if you have an issue, we take it super serious. And between the 10 of us, we'll figure out exactly what it is and get you on your way. And that works with the sales guys as well. So the sales guys are all local. We don't outsource any development, any sales, any of that stuff. So that's nice. All US support. Ease of use. So I think it's about as easy as when the original 2000s boom happened and you're in your website editor, your Wix editor, all of those basic drag and drop, WYSIWYG kind of feel it out kind of applications. I think that's about how easy we are. We get a lot of feedback that is pretty easy as well. And then just being device agnostic. So working on any device that you could possibly have. So we've had people come to us that have BrightSign players, Seneca players, Android media players, Raspberry Pis, any of that stuff. And we can work on all of that. So really working on the plethora of devices that are out there is really the thing that sets us apart.
Perfect. That's a great response, by the way. So one of the things that if I remember your guys' platform correctly, one of the differentiators, at least in my estimation, is you were talking about the scheduling piece. So if I remember correctly, you guys are able to block off the scheduling, I believe, in 15-minute increments. Is that right?
It can actually go down to the second. So I don't want to bore too much on the details, but we do have like some like yoga studios and stuff that have hour classes or 45-minute classes that they need to be precisely starting on the second on the hour. And so we can do that. We can play a video for 60 minutes, reset, get back to the main screen, let them select the next video that they're going to play. So we can get it super precise. We also work with like school cafeterias that have like group A and group B and group C all need to eat lunch within 15 minutes of each other. And you need to have the right menu playing at the right time. So we can get down to the set by the second, by the minute. So
Perfect. No, I don't. Yeah, well, we don't need to get into the super gritty details, but I think that's important just to know as you're starting to build out. Your various customers are going to have different needs, right? There's a couple of things that I wanted to touch on here that you mentioned. One is the team aspect of Arreya, right? I know I've worked with Todd, I've worked with Jill, I've had a conversation with a couple of different people from Arreya now including yourself. Uh, but what struck me is when you were describing this is you mentioned if there's an issue, the whole team will pitch in. And as somebody who's also a part of a team at BlueStar, I think that's important because if I don't know the answer to something, I know I can lean on the experience from somebody else if I don't know the answer. So
yeah,
I think that's important. And BlueStar has a good working relationship with Todd and Jill and the whole Array team for that matter. So we certainly appreciate that. All right. So one last thing, I guess one other question here. Tell me a little bit about what you guys see as an ideal reselling partner through BlueStar. Tell me what that looks like as far as who do you want to work with?
so we want to work with large manufacturing, healthcare, education, and just employee communications. I think those are our biggest verticals. So in the just global communication scale of just having displays up that are showing like maybe the W-2 information or just general information about hygiene, that kind of stuff, all the way to advanced statistics on plant statistics. So the plant is producing this per hour, this team is doing the best and having this accolade and doing that sort of thing. So those are the big digital signage opportunities. And then we also have the custom applications, which I know that we've had some conversations with BlueStar about with doing like custom enclosures, like Hall of Fame walls, and doing some different custom enclosures. And then we also do custom design. So we have designers in house that will design any content for anybody. So if they have a design or a dream that they want to have on the screen, we can put that there. So
Okay. Yeah, that's good. All right, that's good to know. And then you mentioned hardware earlier, and I think you said you're agnostic when it comes to the actual hardware that's used. Uh, I'm assuming this will work on a lot of the devices that BlueStar offers as well, like Lenovo devices and Chrome, correct?
yeah, Chrome was our big. So we've been a Chrome approved partner for about 15 years. So we work on almost all Chrome devices. And then we work on the sort of standout players like the digital Fire Stick from Amazon. We work on BrightSign. We work on just about anything that has an Android or a Windows operating system on it. So if you have a customer that's coming in and they have a mismatch of devices that they don't know what they want to run on and they want to keep their devices for cost, there's a chance that we can run on almost all of those devices.
Right on. So let's just say we're starting from scratch. You and I are having a conversation. I want to do something with our content management. I'm not sure how to do it. What's the basic stuff that I need besides a monitor of some sort that I would need to get started?
Yeah, to get started with Arreya, we just need an internet connection and a computer. So if you can get on the internet and go to Arreya.com and log into our backend CMS, and then as long as the device itself can get on the internet, you can pair it to that channel. So that's really about all you need. And then just maybe a little bit of a design aspect to you as far as putting stuff on the screen. But we have thousands of templates. So if you're not super design savvy and have like an idea of what you want, you can always choose one of our templates to get started and then kind of go from there. So
Okay. And do you guys do any consultation as far as the design piece goes? So if they say, hey Josh, I really want to buy Array content management, but I got two left feet when it comes to putting anything like that together. Can they lean on you guys for that? I know you said you had some templates, but let's say I have a template. Will you guys come in and help me customize that, or do you have the ability to do that?
Yeah, yeah. So we do a design charrette. So we work with our local designers here in office, and so they'll get a hold of the customer or the end user and say, "What's your dream? What does it look like? What content do you want on the screen? Is it pulling any sort of integrations from anywhere? Is it pulling from like a Excel spreadsheet or any of that stuff?" They figure all that out, put it all on the screen for them, and then we even go one step further. So when that end user is onboarded onto Arreya, we actually do a free demo or a tutorial. So Andrew, our sales manager, will actually sit down with the client and show them how to use the software so they're not completely just stuck in the weeds. Even if they have something designed from us, by us, they should still be able to get in there and edit it and move stuff around if they wanted to.
Perfect. Thank you. And then one last thing, one last question. I think I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyways. Um, are you guys willing to jump on calls with our sales team in order to help the client or the reseller understand the product and help them sell the product and the reseller for
Absolutely.
that matter?
Yeah, so Andrew is our lead consultator as far as sales goes. So you're probably going to be working with Andrew the most. But if you have a technical question, I think somebody from BlueStar had a technical question about getting bright sign players to work, and I actually jumped on that phone call. So from a tech perspective or a sales perspective, doesn't matter if it's either of those venues, we'll definitely get on a call and help sort out whatever questions that the end user has. Because really making the end client happy is what we're all about. So whatever vehicle we can use to get there.
Agreed. That's who it's all about, right? The end user. All right. One last thing. Is there anything else you wanted to tell us about Araya? Because we're coming up to and we're getting close to the end here.
I think just talking about how we're a small team and tight knit community is really what we're all about. We have a lot of fun. We take a lot of pride. We do a lot of like monthly get-togethers with the team, and I think I'm a huge glue guy. So if we can get the team moving in the right direction, working in the right direction, that's huge for me. I think as long as everybody's moving in the right direction, great things will happen. If you got people straggled all over the place, just chaos happens. So we're definitely making sure we're going to the right place.
A phrase that there's a couple of different phrases that this kind of triggered when you said that is one is as long as we're all rowing in the same direction is one, and another one that an old divisional VP used to tell us at a former company of mine was making sure we're all singing from the same hymnal was another one.
Yeah.
So I always thought that was pretty clever. All right, Ethan, thank you so much for being on here. This comes to the part of the show which is kind of my favorite part of the show. I
Sure.
got a beef with Ethan. I shared it with him before we started here. He's fully aware of this. But Ethan, why don't you introduce this beer today, and we'll talk about it a little bit.
Sure. So I'll do my best beer salesman. So this is Pseudo Sue. So this is from Davenport, Iowa. Davenport's just a little town, probably 30, 40 minutes north of us. And it actually has really good reviews. It gets really good ratings from like the local beer community and the local sellers. So it's a light pale ale, I suppose. So
It's
he,
hazy. It's like a hazy. It's
yeah,
unfiltered. This is an unfiltered beer. This is my beef with Ethan because he saw this after I guess he gave me his request before he knew I'm not a fan of this type of beer. But as a good host, drink this because that's what I do. But a couple of things. This is Pseudo Sue. It's from a brewery called Toppling Goliath, like you said in Davenport, Iowa. A couple things. This brewery has actually won a numerous amount of awards. I have my phone here, so I apologize. I want to read a couple of these. So in 2024, Pseudo Sue specifically won the silver medal for American Juicy or Hazy IPA. And in 2023, it won gold at the U.S. Beer Championship for American Juicy or Hazy IPA, and a ton of King Sue. I mean, and we were talking about fluffer, oil fluffer nutter earlier. Apparently that's been taken by oh my goodness, Dairy Queen now for part of their thing. So Nick, I'm sorry, Ethan. Tell me, what do you think? What are your thoughts on this? Give me some of the flavors and stuff on here.
it's my favorite beer. It's definitely light. I wouldn't say it's as like overpowering as most IPAs. I would say it kind of hits the palate a little short. It doesn't like overpower you by any stretch of the imagination. Not so good on flavor profiles, but I would definitely say it's probably a little citrusy. It's got good mellowness to it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm kind of putting you on the spot on the flavor profile, but from my standpoint, for a hazy beer, it'll actually say there might be some sediment in there because it is unfiltered.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can see that it's got a hazy kind of appearance to it. But from an IPA standpoint, in my opinion, it's kind of on the milder side of IPAs, but it definitely has those hoppy, citrusy kind of flavor notes and flavor profiles. So, you know what? I'm not sure I'll get this again because I generally don't buy these, but I'll drink this one. I'll drink this.
Yeah, I know that they did venture out and they got the King Sue, like you said, and they've got some other beers now that are sort of not in the IPA line, but that's where they made a lot of their history. So I think they've ventured out into other stuff. So if you look up Toppling Goliath, I'm sure you'll find something you like.
I have no doubt. Listen, I'll find something everywhere. But
Yeah,
um, another just fun fact before we kind of sign off here. I think Davenport, is that right on the river?
it is. It's a river town. Yeah.
Okay, so I think it's down. I've actually been to Davenport, and I've been to a brewery in Davenport. Now I'm wondering
Okay.
if this is it, but I believe Davenport, Iowa, is the only place in the Mississippi River where the river actually runs for more than like 100 yards, like a couple miles, east to west. Is that
Yeah,
true?
that is true. Yeah. We actually have somebody that works here at Arreya that her hometown is Decorah. She went to high school there and all that fun stuff. So she knows the town infinitely better than I could recite. So,
Okay, all right. The Decorah, not Davenport. I said Davenport, didn't I?
oh, yeah, Decorah. Yeah. Davenport is on the river, though.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, this is from Decorah. The beer is from Decorah. So, all right. Awesome. Ethan, I really appreciate you jumping on here with me today. And thank you for expanding my palate with this. I want to call it a hazy IPA, an unfiltered IPA, but thank you. We appreciate it. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks at Vartech, maybe.
Yep, sounds good. We'll have people there. So if you have any questions, feel free to hit them up.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.